drink this protein shake really fast, and then we'll get started. But anyways, welcome to Gaming and Fitness. I'm your host, Bastian. Today we're going to finish Super Mario Bros. 3. I'm on World 8, at the beginning of World 8, and hopefully by the end of this stream we will have finished it. If, for whatever reason, that turns out to be a little too difficult for me, because I do have like a time crunch, I need to kind of be done by 10, then, because I have to take the dog for a walk, and then I have to go to the gym, and blah 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 blah, then I guess we'll see where I'm at by 10, by an hour from now, and maybe I'll have to come back and finish it later on this afternoon. But right now the dog is being crazy. Most dogs, you see food and they immediately gobble it up. He just stares at it. And like maybe 10% of the time he'll actually go straight for it and eat 75% of it, and then he'll just stare at the remaining 25%. For instance, right now he's returning from the garage where I fed him, and I suspect probably only about 50% of that food has been eaten. And it's not like I'm giving him an insane amount of food or anything. It's actually, for his size, not that much food, but he just doesn't like eating food unless it's human food, which he doesn't. You'd think, oh, well then clearly you're doing something wrong, you're giving him too much human food. We don't give him any human food, so he's just really not interested in dog food. Well, that's not true. I do give him human food, but only a third of a hot dog if he's finished all of his dog food. So you'd think that would be an incentive. Speaking of the devil, can you see him? He's photobombing the stream. Hi, Titan. Do you want to say hello? Okay, let's go ahead and start this. I did say the W word. Oops. I'll have to be more careful about that, especially now that he's around. I think I probably felt safe saying W-A-L-K, but as a word, because he was in the garage. Okay, let's see here. Oh, great. So am I going to have... No! Phew, I was worried I was going to have controller issues. I can't hear any audio now, which is weird. Why can't I hear any audio? Oh, well, I probably don't need it. Do you guys hear any of the game audio? Well, I died. Way too soon. Let's figure out why I can't hear any game audio. Nothing looks to be muted. That's not muted. Ah, and now the tea kettle is boiling. Okay, I will be right back. I've got my green tea and my green Super Mario warp pipe for good luck. And while I was getting the tea ready, I realized exactly why it is that I can't hear the audio, and that's because I've got the lapel microphone plugged into the audio jack on the computer, so I won't be able to hear audio if I leave it like that. Oh well. We'll see whether I need it or not, or if I'm going to have to figure out, this MacBook Pro that I'm using to play on and stream from. It's, I don't know. I miss my PC, my Lenovo, my Windows-based computer, laptop, my Windows-based laptop. I know Macs are supposed to be even better than PCs, but I find them cumbersome. Because, like my other laptops that were PC-based, they had a separate jack for microphone and a separate jack for headphone. This thing just has one for both. But it looks like I'm not in dire need of audio. I am of the opinion that you should play a game with its audio on, because they spend plenty of time trying to figure out how to make the audio and visual work together to be immersive, so why not? And, you know, you get certain clues from the audio that you wouldn't get visually, and and vice versa. I'm sure I'll be able to beat this. Is it a boom boom or is it a boomerang bro? Boomerang bro. Yay, I did it. Without audio. Let's see how the rest of World 8 goes without audio. Darn it, I forgot he was there. I don't think I have enough time. Okay, just... nope. Oh well. There is a cheat on this level. Oh, the dog decided he has to chase his tail now. Titan, stop. There is a cheat in this level where you can just swim underneath the ship the whole time in this molten lava somehow, which makes no sense, but oh well. But I don't feel like doing that. That's boring. But I loved doing it as a kid. Once I discovered a cheat, I was always very happy to utilize it every time. I guess I'll have to make up my own soundtrack. Except maybe you guys can hear the game audio. In fact, you probably can, which means that my faked soundtrack will clash with that one, so I best not do that. Can you hear the game audio, by the way? I suspect so, because I suspect that the software that's capturing the game ignores the fact that I can't hear the audio by having plugged into the headphone jack, so you can probably hear the game audio just fine, right? Yeah, this desk is a bit cramped. Well, it's not really necessarily that the desk is so cramped. I could move over a little bit and then put my other laptop next to this one in order to be able to read the comments, but I hadn't thought of that until now. I guess I'll do that for my next stream. Yeah, if there's no game audio for you guys, then that kind of sucks, so maybe I'll just unplug this and see how that goes. How can you guys still hear me okay, and can you hear the game audio okay? I still can't hear the game audio, which makes no sense. Oh, now I can. Okay. So, hopefully you can still hear me okay, though. Okay. Let me know, and I'll adjust accordingly after this next bit. None of the hands came to get me. I kind of wanted one of them to, so that way I would get a leaf or something. Or die. One or the other. The game audio is pretty terrible. Huh. Well, if if my audio is worse without it plugged in, and the game audio is still terrible without it plugged in, maybe it's just best to leave my mic pulled. That's a little unfortunate. I'll troubleshoot that for the next game that I'm playing and try to figure out how to make that work. But yeah, I am using OBS I think that was one of the questions, and there was another one that I was going to answer, but I can't remember it off the top of my head, but I'll take a look again now. The game audio is coming through the mic? There must be some setting that I'm not aware of where I'm supposed to tell OBS to capture the game audio separately from... I just assumed it would know to capture the game audio without me telling it to. I'll have to figure that out. Or if anybody else knows, I'm happy to take some lesson. Whoa. Whoa. Damn it. Oh well, at least I will have gotten a leaf from here. So it will have been worth it. Okay, so I am really curious if it's just a matter of me adding in a game audio capture thing. Let's see here. Audio input capture, audio output capture. What would that be? Is that... Oh, let's capture the game audio. There's nothing. Okay, that's not a thing. Troubleshooting live. Isn't that exciting? Audio output, browser source, color source display, game capture. Pretty sure was just for the... Somebody's... It smells like somebody's smoking outside the window, which I'm not a fan of, but there doesn't appear to be anybody there. Okay, so that's not it. Image, no, media source? What's media source? Let's find out now. Oh, that's like if a video, for some reason, if you wanted to capture a video or something, I think. Okay, so it's not that. Okay. So, text, no. Video capture device, no. I have no idea. Well, that's frustrating. Oh well, let's continue on with the game for now, but if anybody knows how to remedy that, let me know in the chat and I'll fix it. And yeah, let's go ahead and use one of those leaves we just got. Definitely useful on a level like this. Well, the leaves are useful all of the time, but especially on such like a fast-paced, you need to have precision jumps. I almost lost it there. Oh, damn it, I totally lost it. Oh well, I need to drink this protein a little bit more anyway. I'm going to use the other leaf, I don't care. I'm on the last world, for goodness sake. Oh, and if this fails, but I don't think it will, but if this fails, then I'll go ahead and just use a P-Wing, because this is definitely the level where a P-Wing is. Well, I just talked myself into that one, didn't I? I've got plenty of them, and I'm in the last world, and I'm sure it's cheating, but whatever. I mean, it's not really cheating, and they give you the item. It's not quite as bad as, is it Super Mario 3D Land or 3D World, where they give you that white Tanuki suit leaf that just makes you, it's basically a P-Wing, and it makes you invincible, and it's like, well, it's not really like a P-Wing, it doesn't let you fly. But anyways, it's like, this feels like cheating. Nothing can hurt me. that I always felt a little... The only time I would ever allow myself to use one of those was when I was playing multiplayer, because playing multiplayer in a Mario game can get very frustrating. There's just too much stuff going on all at once. I do feel like a dirty cheat, but oh well. Yes, troubleshooting live. I mean, that was the majority of my career as a web developer was, this doesn't look right. Why doesn't it look right? I guess I will spend the next hour turning on and off all kinds of code to see what went wrong. That was nearly a disaster. I'd really like to fly. Ah, damn it. Okay, shoot already. Hello? Why aren't they shooting? Maybe I can just jump up onto this one just fine. Oh, I thought it was going to be a leaf. Oh well. See, here's where game audio would be a little bit helpful, because I think they telegraph with audio whether it's damn it. That's also the other thing that game audio would be helpful for, is being able to hear when a Starman power is about to become... Well, that boo's causing some issues for me. Well, that was pretty dumb. Okay. I mean, I guess now is the time to use my my stuffs, but I don't want to waste anything in case I run into any issues later. So let's just try it one more time without any kind of help. Whoops. The problem with playing old school Super Mario games, with which I'm extremely familiar, is that after having played new Super Mario Bros. Games, I just expect to be able to wall jump, is that what it's called? Triangle jump? Whatever the terminology is. And so I go into a jump or a fall expecting to be able to do that, and then I can't, and then it doesn't really... Well, that didn't work out. I wish I had some low-level power-ups right now so that I could just use one of those and then get a leaf from this thing over here and then not feel too worried about... Too many things coming at me at once. I cannot believe how terrible I'm doing. Honestly, to be perfectly frank, I expected, like, I'll whiz right through World 8 in, like, 5 minutes or something. See, my brain said, oh, it's no problem, you can just jump off of that bullet bill thing, and that's not going to work. This is not new Super Mario Bros. Well, that didn't go as planned. Damn. Triple jump, yes. My fitness goals. Well, they're always changing. I think you'll find that anybody who starts any kind of workout plan will tell you that they're always evolving and changing, because you eventually discover, like, what, I don't know what I was thinking right there, but you'll eventually discover, like, okay, well, if I put in this amount of work, I can reach this goal by this point, but then if I reach that by then, you know, it would seem more logical that your goals would change as you've completed them. But what I don't know why I jumped there, but what I've personally found is my goals are changing, like, when I reach somewhere beyond 50% completion of that goal. So it's been a roller coaster for me. When I was a kid, I was never, like, obese or anything, but I was a little chubby, I guess is the word for it. And so anyways, for my height, I was a little heavier than I should be. So my goal back then was, well, I'll just I'll just lose all of this extra body fat, and then I'll get to be like, curses, and then I'll get abs, and then I'll be great. So I was like 160 pounds at that point, which I'm not a very tall fellow. I'm only 5'8", so that was, for having zero muscle mass, not exactly the healthiest weight. The healthiest weight to be. So then I worked really hard at making that goal happen, and that was like, it kind of started when I was in high school. I started doing, like, sit-ups and push-ups. I did not know what I was doing back then. I was under the impression, like a lot of people are, oops, why did I stand back up, that, oh, the way to lose body fat around your abdomen is to do sit-ups, which is complete BS. Doing sit-ups has nothing to do with losing body. I am really terrible at this right now. Anyways, doing sit-ups has nothing to do with losing body fat. It's not going to make your waist smaller. It is going to build abdominal muscle tissue, which is a great thing, but you're not going to see any of that abdominal muscle tissue if your abs are still covered with that layer of body fat. So anyways, I was doing that all wrong, but I was also at the same time really tooling in on my diet. I was a vegetarian at that point, but just because I was a vegetarian didn't mean that I understood what healthy was. I certainly did not. And so I would still eat things that were vegetarian, but also terrible junk food, like chips and pizza, cheese pizza and stuff. But anyways, eventually I did, because of really focusing in on not eating so much junk food and and stuff like that, I was eventually able to lose like 30 pounds of body fat. I hate that little block. You know what? I think it's time to use a P-wing. I hate to say it, but it's time to do it. Anyway, so where was I going with that? Oh yeah, I finally was lean, but then I was just really skinny looking. I looked like your stereotypical vegetarian that has like 0 muscle mass, but is lean. That didn't quite work for me. So is there a Tanuki suit down here? Is that what I'm remembering? Nope, 1-ups. That's fine, I can take some 1-ups. But anyways, after I achieved that goal when I was about 21 or 20, I decided, you know, okay, well, what I really want to do now is to add some muscle mass. So I had never been to a gym in my life. I did not know what I was doing, but I had a friend kind of show me the basics, and in retrospect, he also did not know what he was doing. But you know, you got to start somewhere. So then at that point, I decided, okay, is it this one I go down? So at that point, I joined a gym and had a personal trainer for a while and I'm not just saying this because I'm now myself a certified personal trainer, but I strongly believe that people should, before they start just going to the gym on their own, they should do one of two things, and preferably both things. They should hire a personal trainer, which, yes, is quite expensive, but the benefits far outweigh... damn it. The benefits far outweigh the price. The detriment of the price. If you can skimp and save and afford a personal trainer, I highly recommend one. Not permanently, not indefinitely, but at least for like the first month or so of a person's beginning gym journeys, because I see so many people at the gym who clearly don't know how to perform the exercise correctly, or some people are just inventing their own exercises that are actually not at all effective. Like I've seen people just invent stuff that I'm sure they think is working something out that is definitely not. Yeah, they're not going to accomplish anything, or the minuscule amount of benefit that they are getting out of that invented exercise it's basically useless, because it's going to take them an eternity to actually accomplish anything with it. So anyways, but of course most people can't afford personal trainers, so oops, that was an embarrassing death. So for those people who absolutely, but you know, a lot of people feel like, well, I can't afford one because it's so expensive, and I'd rather spend this same amount of money on, you know, this game that I really want, and then this game that I only kind of want, and then this game that I'm not so sure about, but I may as well buy anyway. You know what I'm trying to say here? People prioritize their spending in ways that don't accurately represent what their actual finances are. Like, people will say, well, I can't afford a personal trainer because I've got a... That was dangerous. Because I've got to make sure I have money for my weekly drinking binges. Well, do you really need to have weekly drinking binges? Probably not. So anyways, I'm babbling here. Well, oh crap, I looked away from the screen and didn't see what I was doing. What I'm really trying to say, though, is there are, of course, absolutely some people out there who cannot afford a personal trainer, and for those people, I just say there are a lot of YouTube channels out there that are pure crap when it comes to fitness, but there are a lot of them out there that are really good when it comes to showing a person this is how you do this exercise, and oh, if you're looking to do a bicep workout, here are 8 bicep exercises, and here's how to perform them, and stuff like that. And my advice, if that's the route you want to take, if you'd rather not spend the money on a personal trainer, which I frankly still think that even though those YouTube channels exist, and even though, like, let's say I created that sort of YouTube channel, well, I am a certified personal trainer, so it would be, can I get up there? How do I get up there? I want that block, because I'm pretty sure it's a power-up. Oh no, that's not good. But anyways, let's say I created such... Oh, damn it. Let's say I created a YouTube channel like that where I'm showing people how to do exercises. Well, I would be showing them the correct way because, yes, I am a certified personal trainer, but I'm not there physically to say, oh, look, when you were doing this and thought you were doing the exercise correctly, you were actually at this incorrect angle, which is actually hitting your triceps instead of your shoulders, or whatever the case may be. Like, it's still best to have somebody who knows what to look for to actually be there physically to show you, okay, well, you know, I know you thought that you were hitting that angle, but you actually weren't. Here, let's correct that. Damn it, I did it again! Where was I going with any of that? We were talking about goals and what my goals were, and somehow it devolved into what other people's goals are, I guess. So yeah, anyways, what I was really trying to say with all of that is my goals are just always constantly shifting. You know, I lost all that body fat, and darn it, I lost all that body fat and got lean, but then I started, you know, I had a personal trainer helping me learn how to do exercises correctly, and I really feel like that's the way to go. Like, if I had just gone in there not knowing what I was doing, it would have been a miserable failure. I wouldn't have gotten anywhere in any due time. But anyways, so then my next goal after losing all of that body fat was, well, okay, I'm going to regain that same amount of... I keep looking away at exactly that same point, and I keep dying. I need to focus. Okay, so yeah, my goal shifted to, okay, I'm going to regain that same amount of pounds back, but this time as muscle, and still stay lean, as lean as I am currently. And I did eventually accomplish... Wait, did I successfully accomplish that before any detriment occurred? Oh my god, I did the exact same thing. Every time I go through that door, I look away. I think I'm gonna stop talking now and get through that door and then start talking again. I keep getting too distracted. I just like talking about fitness and nutrition so much. Okay, here we go. Going through the door, not falling down, jumping, jumping. Don't remember what is going on over here, so let's find out. Not sure whether to keep going right or to go through that door. Let's go through that door. What now? There's just a thwomp right there blocking me. Okay, never mind. So anyways, that was my new goal, was to get back up to 160, but lean and, you know, muscular. And I got halfway there, I want to say. I got to like 145 and really hit a plateau and just did not know why I couldn't get beyond that plateau, and it was driving me insane. And then at that exact same time, a whole bunch of crap, terrible crap went down in my life, where somebody that I cared about a lot passed away, and I just kind of stopped going to the gym because I was just frankly depressed. I was really sad about her death. It was my best friend's daughter, actually. She got cancer when she was 2, and then beat it, and all was good. But what nobody knew was that due to the surgeries from that cancer, there was some scar tissue building up inside of her, and that eventually the scar tissue... Damn it, I keep forgetting about that door. And then eventually the scar tissue had built up such that it was blocking... It had constricted her intestines. So I remember, like, I went over there to visit everybody on, like, let's say a Saturday, and they were like, and she was a little ill seeming, and nobody knew why, like, oh, it must just be a cold or whatever, but she seemed mostly fine. And then Sunday, I looked away again. And then Sunday, I was talking with her dad, who was like my best friend at the time, and I was like, you know, how's she doing? And he was like, she's even sicker today, but, you know, oh well, she'll be better tomorrow probably. And then she had passed away overnight, and that sickness that seemed like a flu was just actually her body's reaction to, I can't pass anything through these intestines. Darn it. Okay, I'm not going to fall down that thing. I'm going to jump and then jump. What's through this door, just out of curiosity? So anyways, that sucked a lot. That's an understatement, of course. But, you know, eventually we all got through it, but, whoa, ugh, darn. But, as a result, I stopped caring about the gym. I canceled my membership because I just hadn't been in so long, and I don't know, I went through this like existential crisis where I was like, well, what is the point of caring so much about, you know, what my body looks like if there are other more important things, like spending time with the people you care about while you have the opportunity to do so. Like, I spent plenty of time with her. It's not like I mean, I practically co-raised her for like a year, but I don't know, you know, I was just really cognizant of what's more important. So I basically spent all of my free time with her parents because, you know, they were grieving, and I just wanted to be there to help, you know, not to say anything, like what can you possibly say to parents who've lost their 4-year-old, but just to be there physically as much as humanly possible so that they, you know, knew that somebody was around and stuff. Anyways, as a result, I didn't go to the gym for a long time, and so I did gain weight up to that 60 pounds, but that 20 pounds that I had gained, or more like 25, I think I had gotten up to like 165 at that point. That was fat. That was not extra muscle. I wasn't building any muscle. Darn it! I knew I shouldn't have done that. But anyways, that continued on for a while, for a couple years, until I decided, okay, this is getting ridiculous. I think I had gotten up to like 165 or so, and I just was not happy with myself for kind of failing my goal. So as a result, I rededicated myself, and what's the star for? I feel like I should be going through this area. Oh, right. Is the star for... No. This level is quite tricky. Darn it. Darn it! Okay, I was getting really reckless there. Should not do that. But anyways, I was going to the gym again and stuff, but my nutrition had kind of fallen by the wayside a bit. Even though I was going to the gym, I was still eating really terrible foods at that point because, you know, part of that depression, I just like allowed myself to start eating all the kinds of foods that I had purposefully not necessarily cut out of my diet. I never really cut foods completely out of my diet, but I do limit them dramatically. So I love pizza, so I will, darn it, so I will allow myself to have pizza, but only like once a month or something. Okay, I'm missing something. What am I missing? Is there another white door that appears at the end here? There is, okay. Hopefully I can beat this boom boom just fine. And I failed miserably. Oh well. So anyways, then my next goal was... Well, I didn't really have a specific one at that point. It was just get back into the gym. But like I said, my nutrition was pretty awful, so I still didn't like have abs anymore or anything. I was still had a decently high body fat. It wasn't like in the obese range, which a lot of people don't know this, but that's a technical medical term, obese is. It's not an insult. It's if you're... Damn it, I looked away again. It's if you're 30 pounds or more overweight, basically, or if your BMI, which BMI is total BS, but it's useful to measure some things, and if your BMI is over 30. So I don't think mine quite was. I think I was in the overweight range. Darn it. The overweight range, which is like 25. I am going through my lives. I didn't really think this was going to happen. I thought I was going to breeze right through World 8. So anyways, I was adding muscle at that point, but I was not looking that great because I still had all this extra body fat. So then I decided... Why did I do that? I was getting cocky. So then I decided, okay, here's the deal. I'm going to completely shift my focus back to my very first original fitness goal, which was I want my abs back. And so I stopped focusing. So I was still going to the gym and lifting, but my nutrition had at that point been designed specifically for gaining muscle and not really losing body fat. And unfortunately, what a lot of people don't understand is those two goals are contradictory. Darn it! Those two goals are contradictory. If you're trying to focus on gaining muscle, unfortunately, you're also going to acquire some body fat, because in order to get enough protein and carbs to properly build muscle, you're also thereby getting an excess of calories, and so body fat is going to occur, unfortunately. If you're really going... I almost used a phrase that I certainly would have never used on my YouTube channel, but I guess I can now. Balls to the wall. If you're going all out, then... I mean, yeah, you absolutely can accomplish both goals at the same time, but you're not going to accomplish either goal as efficiently. At least I didn't die, right? As efficiently as if you were focusing on just one of those at a time. So anyways, I was focused on primarily building muscle and didn't care that my calories were in such excess that I was gaining body fat. But I swapped it to the other way so that my calories were at a deficit, which is all that really needs to occur in order to lose body fat. You just need to be consuming fewer calories than you expend. Okay, there's a star here, which I'm still not quite grasping the purpose of in this particular area, but oh well. But anyways, yeah, my goals changed such that I was now consuming fewer calories than I was using, and so I ended up losing. I don't want to lose this tail. There we go. Phew. So anyways, it started working, and then within about 6 months, at that point, I guess I didn't accurately describe where I was at fitness-wise. I had gotten quite chubby. I think technically I might have even been obese at that point, but only because my muscle, because I'm basing that on the BMI, and my muscle weight is added into the fat weight, which that's why BMI is actually totally useless. And anyways, the point is I'm probably going to beat this boom. But the point is I had gotten like almost up to like 200 pounds. I think I was just at like 199 or something like that. And for somebody of my height, that's pretty fat. So anyways, I lost 50 of those pounds in about 6 months by really focusing on cardio and a caloric deficit. So anyways, as a result, when I got down to 150, I now suddenly had my abs back, which I hadn't seen, which I hadn't seen in so long. And then my new goal, as I was accomplishing that one, was, okay, now once I get there, then let's switch it back to, obviously, back to building muscle. And why I jumped straight into that wrench, I don't know. And so that has been my goal for the past 2 years or 3 years, I think, is when I started that again. And so now I'm at like 190. Darn it, I jumped straight into that cannonball. So my new goal, just like kind of like last time where I was like, oh, I'm going to lose the excess body fat and get to abs lean, but then I want to build enough muscle that I get back to where I was at that weight, but now with muscle instead of fat. Same kind of deal here. I want to get back to the 200 pounds, but lean with abs. And that's been a slow road, but of course it is. It's not going to happen overnight. I suspect it will probably happen in less than a year from now, so that will be nice. Well, maybe actually even in, like, darn it, that was almost a disaster. Maybe even in like 6 months or so, we'll see. But then what will my goal after that be? I have no idea. The number 222 sounds great. I'd really like to maybe be 222 and lean, and then I have no idea where from there. I don't know that I will ever compete. Competing is not at all interesting to me. I really don't understand why that seems to be the primary goal for most people, because it's like, competing against other people kind of is kind of the antithesis of the whole fitness mindset. It's about you competing against your own self. Like, I just don't, it's just, I don't want to go on a stage and feel great about what I've accomplished and then have a judge tell me, yeah, but you're not as good as this guy. Like, I don't care. I accomplished my goal. Like, and yeah, that other guy might be bigger, but I'll, if I choose to, I'll be that big as well at some point. So, darn it, why did I run right into him? So, yeah, competing just doesn't really, I don't get why it's such a passion. I think if I'm going to be 100% honest about it, I kind of feel like the people who are really into competing are just kind of really into competing. Like, if it wasn't bodybuilding, then it would be some other sport. And I don't know, I've never had that drive. The only sport that I was ever interested in doing was rock climbing, and that was really short-lived, and that's also not quite like competing with other people. I mean, it technically is. You're out there to see who's the better rock climber, but it's mostly you against the wall, which is kind of what bodybuilding is. It's you against yourself, you against the weights. So I get it, but I don't think I'm ever going to be super interested in it. Damn it! This level's so hard. And maybe I just don't feel confident enough. Maybe I feel like, oh, I've seen plenty of, I have friends who compete, and sometimes they do great, and sometimes they don't place at all, and it's like, it's just so many factors go into it, and unfortunately a lot of it is also subjective. It's those particular judges, what they're looking for specifically. And even if you have two guys that are of similar size, it can come down to other factors. So I don't think I'm ever going to compete, no. But saying that, I can kind of imagine that there might come a day where I change my mind about that, but we'll see. There's also the fact that in order to compete, you have to be not just I have abs lean, but I have like zero body fat lean. And I personally think that particular look, where there's like just zero, it's like the skin is super paper thin, and it's extremely vascular and veiny. I personally don't think that look is such a great look. And the process to actually get to that point is not very healthy. What a lot of people don't understand is that in order to get to that look, for a good week or so leading up to competition, they're using diuretics to get every last bit of water out of their system so that they look extremely dry. And that's just not healthy. I don't think, I can't justify doing something like that to my body for one day's worth of, hey, look at me, I've got no water in my body, now will you give me a trophy? It's like, what does that have to do with anything? If the ideal competitive, what am I trying to say? If the ideal competition look moved away from that and actually involved, like, having some water in your body, then I might consider it a bit more seriously, but as of now, I just can't see wanting to do that to myself. The funny thing is, Bowser's Castle is actually much easier than any of the Why is he not triggered? Is much easier than any of the other levels in the whole game, so that's interesting. Whoa! That was almost a disaster. So yeah, probably no competition for me, but I don't have anything against other people competing. If that's what they feel like the end game is for their goals, then so be it. And I say all of this knowing I probably will end up coaching people who are competing, so it's not like I'm completely against it or anything. I just know that it's not for me, at least not now. Okay, let's see how this battle with Bowser goes. How many of you have finished this game, by the way? You know, it's ancient, but I suspect a lot of you haven't actually played it because it is so ancient. Damn it! It was going so well right up to that point. Well, that was kind of dumb. I should have moved closer to the right. Oh well. Whoa, that was almost a disaster. I'm not going to be too upset if, for whatever reason, I can't defeat him in this particular round. I mean, it'll be okay. Whoa! Can I trick him into breaking through right here? And he's dead! Yes! Yay, Bowser's dead! Or I guess actually in this game, the King of the Koopa. So, yay, we win! I do have Instagram. It's a word that should be familiar to you Zelda fans, Goron, and then another word that should be familiar to you Zelda fans, or gaming fans in general, gamer. It's Goron Gamer. I used to kind of keep it secret because, unlike most people, I wasn't that interested in amassing followers or whatever. It really, literally, was just a way for me to... I used to specifically post a new picture each week so I could see what my progress was and just kind of scroll through it and go, oh, okay, well, I've, you know, accomplished this goal or that goal from this point forward or whatever. But yeah, that's my Instagram. How far, you said, one of you said, oh, is it OS Fast? Is that how I pronounce that? You said that you hadn't ever been able to beat it. How far did you get, out of curiosity? This game, Super Mario 3, in case I wasn't very clear. Big Island. That's my favorite world. I always loved how at the end of this game and then Super Mario World, they show like, oh, here are the different worlds you've been to. And do they also do that in Super Mario 2? I can't remember. Castle of Koopa. Of course, now they would translate into Bowser's Castle, which reminds me of a silly, ancient YouTube video that I don't remember the context, but it was like some guy saying, "Bowser's in his castle." If you can remind me of what the heck that is that I'm remembering, that'd be great. The end. Push start. Save and quit. So I guess that's it for this stream. I have not yet figured out what my next game is that I'm going to play. I kind of want it to be an RPG, maybe. So I was kind of thinking of the original Final Fantasy, except not the original version of it, but the Game Boy Advance version. I actually had streamed secretly before I told anybody about this Twitch stream. I was secretly streaming the Final Fantasy 1, but the PSP remake, and this computer can't handle PSP emulation, so that's fine. But I have in the past played the Game Boy Advance remake and liked that version just fine. So I was thinking of either Final Fantasy 1, Game Boy Advance remake, or Sword of Mana, which is a Game Boy Advance game that's a lot of fun. And I had started a Let's Play of it on my YouTube channel a million years ago and then never finished, and would kind of like to finish it. But I would start from scratch for the purpose of the stream. Or what else was I thinking about doing? Well, there's an Ys game I don't think I've ever finished, Ys 5, which was made for Super Nintendo or Super Famicom, but was never released over here. But then some fans finally got around to doing a fan translation of it a year or two ago, and I haven't had a chance to really finish that yet. So I would start from scratch on that. I was thinking of, Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, which is a very simplistic... I was thinking of this because I was watching some gameplay of Miitopia and thinking, wow, this is as simple as Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, or even simpler. So that might be fun. What was the other thing I was thinking of? I kind of feel like my next game should be something that I'm already pretty familiar with, so maybe A Link to the Past, or Final Fantasy 1, or just something that I know I'm not going to get stuck on, because that would be boring, right, on a Twitch stream, to watch somebody playing an RPG and not know what to do. So, also maybe, I haven't played Minish Cap in a really long time, so that might be fun. So I don't know. Anyways, I would say let me know in the comments down below, but there's no such thing on Twitch, so tweet at me, I guess, with your suggestion. My Twitter is still Bastion Time, so tweet at me there. Yep. I actually think I'm going to try to... I've recorded this whole session, so I think I'm going to try to upload an edited version of this whole thing to YouTube, so maybe there will be a comment section for people to tweet at, to comment in. But anyways, thanks for watching me finish, or, maybe I should do another Mario game. Should I do Super Mario 2, for instance, or Super Mario Bros. Lost Levels, or Super Mario World? So, I don't know. Let me know, tweet at me, at Bastion Time. See you guys next time. Bye, guys.